So this is Saturday, December 14th. I'm Brian. This is Crypto for the Rest of Us. 6 days a week. Big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. Informational purposes only. We're going to talk about Hedera. I wasn't going to put anything else out this weekend. However, I put a tweet. I put something out on x.com Friday night, and it's gotten so many views and comments. It really kind of blew me away. It was about Hedera. So let's talk about Hedera. I basically said here, you can see it. And by the way, if you want to follow me, it's at longest, at LONGEST on x.com. Anyone else feel like HBAR has been sitting nicely around 30 cents, waiting patiently for alt season? That was a loaded statement. I said a lot in that one sentence because it's how I feel about the market, and I'm going to explain that. And I said, hey, nice consolidation, building for a break to the upside over 0.786. And I got all kinds of comments. What was I getting at? Well, like I said, this is Saturday. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a video on where I believe the total market is and how you should be looking at, in my opinion, I call it the forest and the trees. Before you know what to do with your trees, your individual cryptos, it's good to know what the forest, what the total market is doing. I break down a lot of different charts and what you can follow throughout the market to give you an idea. Is momentum still pushing up, or is momentum switched and started pushing down? And it's different for crypto, categories of crypto, and then altcoins versus things like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Okay. And I go through a lot of different indicators. Take a look at that. It's coming out tomorrow on Sunday. But generally speaking, the altcoin season has not started yet. For those of you that aren't aware, past markets, it's been explained that Bitcoin rises first. Profits are rolled over into Ethereum. Ethereum profits are rolled over to alt season. It doesn't quite work that way, perfectly, but generally speaking, that's how it seems to move. Or another way to talk about it is people hear about things like Bitcoin taking off. They get involved with altcoins, and that's what pushes things forward. Or another way of talking about it is it's in a 4-year cycle. Or another way is there's global liquidity, which there is, and central banks are putting more money because governments have to refinance their debt. And what do they want to do? They want inflation because then their debt is cheaper to pay. They put money into circulation and asset prices go up. There's many ways you can look at it. Who cares how it gets there? But look at the different metrics and indicators to see where it's going. Okay, so the total market, let's look at this. Total market is the market cap of everything. And back in the beginning of 24 around here, it was like 1.2 trillion. Now it's 3.5 trillion. Without getting into all the charts, the majority of that is Bitcoin taking off because it might be 2 trillion of this. And you look at the other charts, you take out Bitcoin, you take out Ethereum. You can even look at what's called others, where it takes out the top 10, and you say, are we in a altcoin season yet, where these smaller cap ones start moving? I mean, smaller cap, some of them are still billions of dollars. And in my opinion, for what we're looking at and what you can see from most of these charts, we're not there yet. So the reason I posted about Hedera was, and congratulations to those of you that watch my channel, because a while ago I posted a video when Hedera was at 4 cents and said, I think this is a great time to buy in. And it shot up to around, almost 38, 40 cents. It has since come back down. At the moment, it's sitting at 0.29, 30 cents. And you can see these are what are called Fibonacci lines as to what it broke through. But I have mentioned before, I have sell levels. I put in my sell levels based on what I believe it's going to do. And initially, I was in the 75 to 80 cent range of where I thought Hedera was going to pop out. That was almost a year ago when that was in my mind, my prediction before I even started doing this show. That's changed greatly as time has gone on, particularly because I believe Hedera ran up before altcoin season has even started. Take a look at Google Trends. If you've used this before, you can put in a search term and it shows you the amount of searches over time. I did it for the past 90 days. HBAR and Hedera. I'm assuming those are two of the most search terms relating to Hedera. And by the way, these are one-word search terms. If you're familiar with Google and search volume, typically one-word terms get the most volume, 2-word terms, a little less, 3 words, etc. But those are what you call more long tail. People use them in SEO to get traffic when you're first starting a site. You go after long tail and then you move your way up to the smaller ones. I used to do that for a while. Okay. So you look and say, wow, look how much since the beginning of November the interest was in Hedera, that's great. But just to give you an idea, you think that's a lot of interest. Look at Bitcoin. Comparatively, Bitcoin is in yellow. Bitcoin's interest is so high that Hedera interest looks like it's nothing. These long lines are drawn comparatively with the amount of interest over time. So you can see that while Hedera's interest has gone up, it's still tiny. And that kind of points to the fact that why it sort of ran up. But I believe that Hedera, that these people were purchasing in anticipation of that altcoin season, not because we're in that altcoin season. So a lot of people look at the prices of things over the last month or 2 months and say those are sort of the bottoms. When the real money starts moving into the market, where are they going to go? Well, I think some people looked at various projects, and there's a handful of them that really took off and said, you know what? I need to get ready for this market. This is one I want to be in. So to me, the baseline is really around 30 cents, and it has sat here nicely, even though there have been some pretty large corrections here recently. Where do I think this guy is going? It might bounce off this 0.618. You look at the volume. This is on balance volume, one of my favorites. It looks great the way, if you drew some lines here, the way it seems to be playing out. Anyway, you get a general idea. It looks like maybe the volume, things are consolidating. You've got buying, you've got selling, you've got moving things around, and then potentially pop to the upside once the altcoin market takes off. Using these basic fib lines, when I originally said a year ago, well, to myself, I didn't have a show then, around 80 to 90 cents. Now I'm looking at $1.50 or so. Top. That's going to mean I'm going to be selling out on the way up potentially. Here's my other opinion on layer ones in general. In past markets, you can look at charts and you'll see that AI peaked out as a category. Gaming peaks out as a category. All these categories up and down, different points of time as to when they hit their highs and then retrace a little bit. Personally, I think layer ones will be the least volatile, meaning I'm not sure their multiples will be as high as other altcoins. But I also don't believe their drops will be as significant as others. I don't think they're going to be as harsh. If other things, when this market ends, end up going down 90%, 80%, whatever it may be, I don't think layer ones are going to go down all that much. Anyway, that's just my opinion. But I wanted to show this because what I put on X.com got a lot of interest, which is good. It means there's a lot of people watching Hedera. And I still believe we haven't even started the upticks yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when altcoin truly does kick in and money starts flowing. And we'll see that particularly when we look at total 3 or we look at what's called others. Total 3 is starting to move. But we only went from, we're at what, $1 trillion now? I believe that's going to go to 4 trillion. Others, is it 400 billion? And others have started to move a little bit, not much. And it looks like that could get up to almost 2 trillion, maybe more. But we're starting to see some moves. So anyway, that was it. Hope that was helpful. Keep an eye. For those of you that might be worried that that Hedera move has already happened and it's over for Hedera, I've gotten comments like that. I personally don't think that's the case. I think those individuals that have been buying and pushing it up to 30 cents and has been consolidating are the individuals getting ready for altcoin season, not because it's already happened. I think Hedera has a long way to go. Again, big dumb animal. Informational purposes only. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.